The mirror lies once, then twice, then every morning. A gray hair appears where yesterday there was nothing. The knee speaks a language you never studied. The stairs have grown taller. The music you loved now sounds like noise from another planet, and something inside you begins to negotiate with panic. What if I told you that everything falling apart is exactly what needs to break so something wiser can breathe? In the next minutes, you will discover the hidden architecture of aging. Not the version sold in creams and surgeries, but the one whispered in monasteries where time is not an enemy, but a forge. You will learn 7 steps that transform the terror of getting old into a quiet revolution. Steps that monks have walked for centuries, while the world outside chased youth like a dog chasing its tail. Here is what happens now, in this exact moment. A body counts its breaths differently than it did 20 years ago. The mind wants to freeze the river. The culture screams that decline is failure. But in a temple somewhere, an old master smiles at his wrinkled hands and sees maps, not mistakes. He knows what you are about to learn, that aging is not the problem. Resistance is. 7 steps, 7 keys. Accept the body's honesty. Release the ghost of who you were. Cultivate depth over speed. Make peace with invisibility. Seed wisdom daily. Laugh at the cosmic joke. And walk the final stretch with open hands. If you stay until the end, something in you will soften. Something that has been clenched since you noticed the first sign of time's signature on your skin. The common enemy has a name, the cult of the forever young. It lives in every advertisement, every filtered photo, every conversation where age is apologized for like a crime. This enemy whispers a single poison into your ear. You are only valuable when you are new. Buddhism answers with a different truth. You are only whole when you stop pretending. Step 1. Accept the body's new testimony without betrayal. Your knees are not traitors. They are honest witnesses. For decades, they carried you through streets, up mountains, into embraces, away from dangers. Now they speak differently. They ask for warm-ups before cold starts. They request the elevator when pride demands the stairs. This is not weakness. This is the body remembering it is made of earth, not iron. In monasteries, old monks walk slower, not because they are broken, but because they have learned the art of arriving. Each step becomes a meditation. The young rush to reach the temple door. The old know the path itself is the temple. Your body is teaching you the same lesson. It is saying, hurry less, feel more. It is saying the destination was always here, in the walking itself. Practice this. Each morning before the day demands anything, sit on the edge of your bed. Place your hand on your chest. Feel the engine that has worked without vacation since you were born. Whisper thank you, not to a god if that feels empty, but to the body itself. Thank it for the decades of service, for pumping blood, filtering toxins, healing cuts, fighting infections, carrying your dreams in a frame of bone and nerve. Then stand slowly. Notice the joints that speak. Do not curse them. Listen. If the right knee says wait, wait. If the lower back says stretch first, stretch first. This is not surrender to decline. This is partnership with reality. The body ages whether you accept it or not. Acceptance simply means you stop wasting energy on a war you cannot win and redirect that energy toward grace. The illusion is that youth is strength. The truth is that strength without wisdom is just noise. An old tree does not produce more leaves than a young one, but its roots go deeper. Its wood is harder. It has survived storms that would snap a sapling. You are becoming that tree. Let the transformation happen without violence. Step 2. Release the ghost you used to be. There is a person you were at 25. That person could drink all night and wake fresh, could learn new languages in months, could bend in ways that now seem anatomically impossible. That person is not coming back. And mourning them forever is like standing in a train station, waiting for a train that left years ago. Buddhism calls this attachment to a fixed self, the belief that who you were is who you must remain. But look at a river. It is never the same water twice. You call it by one name, but it is always new. You too are a river. The cells in your body replace themselves. The thoughts you think today are not the thoughts you had a decade ago. The loves that moved you shift. The fears that paralyzed you dissolve. Even your memories change each time you remember them. Here's the practice. Write a letter to the younger version of yourself. Be specific. Dear me at 30. Dear me at 45. Tell them everything they did right. Thank them for the risks they took, the mistakes that became lessons, the love they gave even when it was not returned. Then, and this is the important part, tell them goodbye. Say it clearly. You are necessary. You brought me here. But I am someone else now. I release you with gratitude. Burn the letter if that feels ceremonial, or fold it and place it in a drawer. The gesture matters more than the paper. What you are doing is cutting the invisible rope that ties you to a past self. That rope feels like loyalty, but functions like an anchor. It keeps you from moving into who you are becoming. Old age is not decline if you change the metric. The young measure by speed, by accumulation, by conquering. The old measure by depth, by release, by understanding. One is a sprint. The other is a pilgrimage. Both are valid, but only one leads to peace. Step 3. Cultivate depth over speed. The world still spins at a young person's tempo. Notifications scream. Traffic accelerates. Trends change before you learn their names. And somewhere inside, you feel the pressure to keep up, to prove you are still relevant, still fast, still in the game. But what if the game itself is a distraction from the real work? Depth is the rebellion of the old. It says, I will not scatter my attention like seeds in a storm. I will place it carefully, like planting a garden that will outlive me. Depth reads one book until it changes you instead of skimming 10 for content. Depth has one conversation that reaches bone instead of a dozen that stay at skin level. Depth sits with silence until silence becomes a language. In Buddhist practice, this is called samadhi, concentration, the ability to stay with one thing until it reveals its secrets. The young mind jumps. The old mind, if trained, penetrates. You have an advantage now that you did not have before. You have less time. That sounds like a curse, but functions like a compass. Less time means you cannot afford to waste attention on what does not matter. Less time means every moment becomes negotiable. You choose with more precision what deserves your presence. Here is how to train depth. Choose one small practice and do it daily. It does not need to be exotic. 5 minutes of watching your breath. 3 minutes of drinking tea without looking at a screen. 10 minutes of writing one true sentence about your day. The content matters less than the consistency. What you are building is the muscle of sustained attention. That muscle atrophies in a culture of constant distraction. You are rebuilding it. And when someone younger mocks you for being slow, do not defend yourself. Smile. You know something they have not learned yet. That speed is often just fear dressed in productivity. That the tortoise does not beat the hare because it runs faster, but because it never stops to prove how fast it is. Step 4. Make peace with invisibility. This is the step that cuts deepest. The world stops seeing you the way it used to. You walk into a room and heads do not turn. You speak, and sometimes your words dissolve into air, as if you had not spoken. The young serve you with a politeness that feels like pity. You become background wallpaper, a person whose presence is noted only in absence. The ego rages against this. It wants recognition, applause, proof that it still matters. But Buddhism offers a different lens. Invisibility is not exile, it is liberation. When you are no longer performing for the gaze of others, you can finally discover who you are when no one is watching. Think of it as camouflage, but spiritual. You move through the city unnoticed. This gives you a superpower. You can observe without the pressure of being observed. You can listen without the obligation to respond. You can exist without the exhausting theater of relevance. The young are trapped in a spotlight. You have stepped into the shadows where real freedom lives. There is a Zen teaching. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The work is the same. The noise around it is what changes. When you are young, every action is performed for an audience, even if that audience is imaginary. When you are old and invisible, you can finally act without the weight of judgment. You can be ordinary, and ordinary, stripped of performance, is where the sacred hides. Practice this. Spend 1 day a week without trying to be seen. Do not post online. Do not tell stories that center you. Do not seek validation. Simply move through your tasks with the quiet competence of someone who knows their worth does not depend on applause. Notice how much energy you save. Notice the relief of not having to curate an image. If loneliness arrives, do not dismiss it. Sit with it. Ask it what it needs. Often, loneliness is not the absence of people, but the absence of self. You have been so busy being seen that you forgot to see yourself. Invisibility gives you that chance. Step 5. Seed wisdom daily, not because anyone will listen, but because you are the first listener. You have lived long, enough to have failed spectacularly. You have loved and lost. You have believed in lies and discovered truths. You have made choices that saved you and choices that cost you years. All of that is data. All of that is compost for wisdom. But wisdom does not arrive automatically with age. Some people grow old and bitter. They collect grievances like stamps. They become warnings instead of teachers. Wisdom is a choice repeated daily. It is the decision to extract learning from experience instead of just storing pain. Here is the method. At the end of each day, write 3 lines. 1 thing you did well. 1 thing you would do differently. 1 lesson you are carrying into tomorrow. Do not judge yourself. Do not inflate or deflate. Simply observe. This is the practice of the inner witness, the part of you that watches your life without needing to control it. Over weeks, patterns emerge. You see the triggers that still snag you. You notice the habits that serve and those that sabotage. You recognize the stories you tell yourself and question if they are still true. This is how wisdom becomes embodied, not as a destination, but as a dailiness. And when someone younger asks for advice, offer it sparingly. Wisdom that is forced becomes preaching. Wisdom that is earned is requested. Speak only when asked. And when you speak, make it brief. The old who talk too much are filling silence with the fear of being forgotten. The old who speak little but precisely become the ones people remember. Step 6. Laugh at the cosmic joke. Buddhism has a strange sense of humor. It tells you to take everything seriously and nothing personally. It tells you suffering is real and also optional. It tells you that you are a self and also that there is no self. These are not contradictions. They are invitations to hold paradox without needing to solve it. Aging is the ultimate paradox. You have more experience and less time to use it. You understand more and have less energy to explain it. You care less about trivial things and more about essential things. But the world still runs on triviality. If you cannot laugh at this absurdity, it will crush you. Laughter is not denial. Laughter is perspective. It is the ability to zoom out far enough to see that your personal drama is both deeply important and utterly insignificant. You are a speck of dust with a heartbeat. You matter infinitely to those who love you and not at all to the universe. Both are true. Holding both truths at once without breaking is the spiritual skill of the old. Practice this. Once a week, watch something that makes you laugh until your stomach hurts. Not cynical laughter that mocks, but open laughter that releases. Or find humor in your own clumsiness. Dropped your keys again. Forgot a name mid-sentence. Told the same story twice in one conversation. These are not signs of decay. They are signs of being human. Laugh at them. Invite others to laugh with you, not at you. The old monk who can laugh at his own wrinkles is more dangerous to ignorance than the young monk who takes himself too seriously. Laughter disarms the inner tyrant, the one who believes that aging is a failure to be hidden. When you laugh at that tyrant, it loses power. Step 7. Walk the final stretch with open hands. This is the step no one wants to talk about. Death is the appointment you cannot reschedule. Every day you are closer. Every birthday is a countdown, and the culture treats this truth like a secret shame. But in Buddhist practice, death is the ultimate teacher. Maranasati, the recollection of death. Not to terrify yourself, but to clarify yourself. When you remember that this body will end, that this breath will one day be the last, that the people you love will die, or you will die first, everything sharpens. The petty argument becomes absurd. The grudge you held for years reveals itself as wasted time. The moment in front of you, this one, becomes the only moment that was ever real. Open. Hands means you practice letting go before you are forced to. You release expectations. You release the need for things to be other than they are. You release the fantasy that you will live forever, or that those you love will. This is not morbid. This is sane. Here is the practice. Once a month, sit quietly and imagine your last day. Not in gruesome detail, but in essence. Who would you want near you? What would you want to have said? What would you wish you had done more of? What would you wish you had worried less about? Then live accordingly. Do not wait for permission to live as if this matters. It does. The old who walk with open hands do not cling. They do not hoard. They give freely because they know the cosmic rule. You cannot take it with you. Your possessions will be sorted by strangers. Your achievements will be footnotes. Your body will return to elements. What remains is only the love you gave and the kindness you practiced. That is the inheritance that does not rot. And when fear comes, because it will, do not fight it. Name it. Hello, fear. You are here because I love life. You are proof that I care. Thank you for reminding me of that. Then return to the breath. Inhale here. Exhale now. The breath is the thread that stitches you to the present. As long as you breathe, you are alive. As long as you are alive, there is work to do. The city spins around you. The young rush past. Time moves at its own pace, indifferent to your negotiations. But you are no longer at war. You have walked 7 steps. You accepted the body's testimony. You released the ghost of who you were. You cultivated depth. You made peace with invisibility. You seeded wisdom. You laughed at the paradox. And you opened your hands. This is not a destination. This is a dailiness. Some mornings you will forget. You will rage against the mirror. You will mourn the energy you no longer have. You will compare yourself to who you were and feel the sting of loss. That's fine. Return to. Step 1. Place your hand on your chest. Feel the heart that still works. Whisper, thank you. Begin again. There is an image to carry with you. A tree in autumn. Its leaves fall, not because it is dying, but because it is preparing. The tree does not mourn the leaves. It trusts the cycle. Winter will come. Spring will return. The tree does not know this intellectually. It knows it in its roots. You have roots too, deeper now than they were when you were young. Trust them. Aging is not the end of the story. It is the chapter where the hero stops fighting and starts understanding, where the noise quiets and the signal becomes clear, where you finally learn that peace was never something to achieve. It was always something to allow. So walk, slowly if you must, with a cane if you need one, with less certainty and more grace. The young will pass you. Let them. They have their own lessons to learn. Yours is this: that every wrinkle is a word, that every gray hair is a sentence, that your face, lined and soft, is a book only you can read. And the story it tells is not of decline, but of becoming. Becoming finally, blessedly, who you always were beneath the noise. Share this teaching with someone who needs to hear it. Someone afraid of growing old. Someone who believes their value expires with their youth. And if this resonates, subscribe. Not because you need more content, but because you need more companionship on this path. We are all walking it. Some of us just refuse to pretend otherwise. Now close your eyes for a moment. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel the air on your skin. Notice you are here, still breathing, still capable of wonder, still learning. Age is not the enemy. It never was. The enemy was always the refusal to change. And you, by listening this far, have already begun to loosen that refusal. Step by step, breath by breath, peacefully into the only direction time allows. Forward, not with dread, but with dignity. Not with fear, but with curiosity. What will this year teach me? What will this body show me? What will I understand tomorrow that I cannot see today? The answer is always the same. Wait and see. Walk and breathe. Release and allow. That is the path. That has always been the path. And it leads, if you let it, not to an end, but to a homecoming.